Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today we will be doing a brow lamination tutorial using the InLei Brow Lamination Brow Bomber product. First, we are starting off with the Imina brow scrub. We are going to exfoliate and just pretty much scrub out any dirt and impurities that might be hidden in the brows before we get started with our lamination process. I also like to use this scrub because it helps the tint last a lot longer, which I will also be using the Imina eyebrow henna tint as well in today's brow lamination. Once I've scrubbed each brow for up to 30 seconds each, really exfoliating and just kind of deep cleansing the brow area, we will then go ahead and remove the Imina scrub. Now that we have thoroughly removed the scrub and the brow hairs have dried, I'm just going to brush the brow hairs into shape before I lay down my first solution to the brow lamination treatment. And today we are using the InLei Brow Bomber lamination kit. We will first start off by using the Brow Lift 1 brow perming solution to go ahead and manipulate the brow hairs into the direction we need in order to create the brow shape my client desires. For my particular client today, I'm going to be leaving her brow perming solution on for up to 8 minutes. You can leave this solution on anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes depending on the coarseness of your client's brow hairs. Also, being very mindful when using your brow perming solution not to over process the brow hairs by leaving the solution on for longer than your client needs. So it's very important to determine the kind of hair type your client has and to check on the process throughout the setting time. Here, I like to really make sure that the solution is in each individual brow hair. So I will go ahead and take a mini micro spoolie and I will carve out a squiggly line in my client's brows while brushing the brow hairs back into a fuller shape. This is just ensuring that every single brow hair has the product saturated into it, and therefore the solution in the treatment will last longer. And I like to do this step when I am halfway through my client's processing time. So if I left this on her brows for 8 minutes, 4 minutes in, I would check on the perming process and I would go ahead and do this step to ensure that the solution has been manipulated into all the brow hairs. Now that our processing time is over with, we are going to go ahead and take a dry cotton round or 2x2 and we are going to go ahead and remove the solution out of the brow hairs. Now we are going into our next step, which we are using the brow locking cream. You really want to get as much cream on the brow area as you can and just really submerge the brow hairs in this cream. This step is to really lock those brow hairs into shape and pretty much lock the perming solution down. Once we have fully covered the brow hairs in the second step, then we will go ahead and let them sit for an additional processing time. This is usually between 5 to 6 minutes, but again, it does depend on your client's hair, the coarseness, and the texture of the brow hair. After it has been processed for the correct time, we are going to use a damp 2x2 or cotton round to remove the solution out of the brow hair. Once this step has been fully removed out of the brow hair, you do want to rebrush the brow hairs back into your preferred direction before mapping and also making sure that the brow area is dry before proceeding onto your next steps. Now we are going to go ahead and start mapping the brows. We are going to map the key points of her brow structure, starting from the beginning of the brow, the arch of the brow, and the tail of the brow. Once we have those 3 key points mapped out, we will then map out the thickness of the brow, so that'll be from the bottom to the top part. Now I will take my brow paste and create the brow shape for my client. Now my client is a repeated client, so I have gotten to know her brows pretty well and I already understand our predetermined shape, and she already has a really good shape throughout the brow. She just lacks hair in certain areas, creating a more sparse brow. It is very important when mapping your brow and creating your shape that your lines are very precise and straight. And also, one of my key things is making sure that tail is really crisp at the end. Now that we have our shape mapped out for both brows, we are going to start with our tinting process using the Imina eyebrow henna tint. I like henna because it stains the skin and it stains the brow hair, therefore it lasts a lot longer than regular brow tinting products that I have experienced with in the past, and my clients seem to love the henna results. Today's color, I will be using the dark brown pigment to match my client's natural brow color, and I like to start off tinting the tail area first because I like the tail to be 30% darker than the rest of the brow, which is going to create that ombre illusion, giving it just a more crispiness, and it's really going to enhance the face as well. I like to saturate the tint throughout the brow, laying a really clean application down first, and then I will go in with more henna / brow stain in the areas where the hair lacks the most, and just go ahead and add a little bit more onto those areas to keep the saturation the same throughout the brow. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment below your thoughts on this brow lamination process and what other skincare tutorials y'all would like to see in the future. Now we're just going to go in with our bamboo brow sticks and we're just going to clean up any residue that might have gotten outside of our brow lines just to make sure that our shape is nice and crisp. And then as the tinting process has started, I like to start removing it little by little in the front. Again, this is going to create that nice ombre brow and not leave my clients with just botchy block brows in the front. So every few minutes throughout my processing time, I will go ahead and remove a certain part of the brow. A few things that have helped me is using a nice damp cotton pad or 2x2, whichever you want to use. Not a super saturated one, just a really light damp one. And then I also use a spoolie to help brush out any excess tint in the client's brow. This just ensures I'm getting like that really even removal. Now, depending on the client, sometimes I will wax the brow area, but today we are going to go ahead and take my razor blade from Bowler Aesthetics, and all my products, I will take a link down below for you guys to check them out for yourselves from everything I've used in today's tutorial. And I chose this method today because my client has a problem of tweezing her brows and also shaving them down, and I really want them to grow in certain areas, so wax removal was not needed today. We just are going to go ahead and clean up all of the brow hair outside of the brow shape, making it really nice and sharp, giving her that clean brow shape. Now that we finished cleaning up the brow, we are going to go ahead and take our concealer and we are going to put a light amount underneath the brow to really enhance that shape. And it is really just the icing on the cake. I mean, cake is nice, but it's not great without the icing, if you know what I'm saying, you guys. So we're going to go ahead and put a little amount underneath the brow. We're going to blend it out, making it look very seamless. And it's just really going to make her brow pop, like I said. So we're going to go ahead and put put a little concealer at the bottom of the brow, and we will also be putting a little on top of her brow. This is just really going to define her shape. Now that we finish adding concealer to the brow area, we are going to go in with our last final step, and that is the Brow Bomb Eyebrow Nourishing Butter. This is a formulated butter that is going to go ahead and lock the brows into place while also nourishing the brow hairs from the tinting and the brow lamination process from today. If you found this video helpful or insightful in any way to execute a brow lamination service, go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for future tutorials. And look at this before and just watch the transition to her after. Thank you guys. Until next time.